So here's today's problem of the day. It deals with synthetic substitution. Take a minute, pause the video, and solve it. Now moving on to chapter 5, we are looking at 5.3 today, which is add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. It fits into this category because of the fact that we are dealing with polynomials. So far in the chapter, we learned how to identify polynomials, graph them, all right? Now we're looking at some basic operations with them. Example 1 says add vertically or horizontally. However it's set up is how I want us to add, just to get an idea of the different ways that we can add polynomials. Okay, so for the first one here, if we take a look, everything is lined up. So we add or subtract going down the column here. Now what you see here with it being vertical, don't forget that whatever sign is outside of the parentheses, we have to distribute to all. So the plus goes to every single term in the problem. And we'll rewrite it. Don't forget, if you have a positive times a negative, it's a negative. Positive times a negative is a negative. Positive times negative is a negative. And one last time, positive times negative is a negative. This is what it looks like when we rewrite it. This is the one we're actually going to solve. I'm just going to draw the line here. All right, so remember, when you add or subtract polynomials, they have to line up with the same variable to the same exponent, and then we just simply add or subtract the coefficients. 4 minus 5 is negative 1, or negative x cubed. You don't have to put the 1, that's up to you. 4 minus 2 is a positive 2x squared. Negative 3 minus 4 is a negative 7x. 10 minus 4 is a positive 6. That's it. That's our answer. Now make sure you're adding or subtracting like terms. If they're not lined up properly, you have to fix them so that they are ordered correctly. Now how we added vertically in letter A, that's how you learn math from the beginning. Way back when you actually learned how to add or subtract, that's actually what you did. Most of the time, as you get into higher levels of math, it's easier to do the horizontal method. But like I said, we show you each method. So same thing here. We take this parenthesis, or the positive in front of the parenthesis. We're going to distribute that sign to all 4 terms here. And then we're going to take a look at how we add horizontally. Now don't forget, we will rewrite the first term, dropping parentheses. Then when we distribute the positive to everything else, we'll drop those parentheses as well. So this is what we actually get. So I drop the parentheses in the first group. Here I distribute the positive to everything. Now we're going to combine like terms. And as I do that, because they're all in the horizontal position, I cross them as I go. So let's see. 2x cubed plus 3x cubed. 2 plus 3 is 5x cubed. Let's cross them out here as we go. Then 2x squared minus 4x squared is negative 2x squared. Negative 3 minus x minus 1x is negative 4x. Which gets rid of these. And then 5 minus 7 is negative 2. That's my answer. 5x cubed minus 2x squared minus 4x minus 2. So now we're going to do the same thing with subtraction. Be careful with subtraction. The same rules apply, but the signs are actually going to change in the bottom. So in A, we're going to take this negative, and don't forget we distribute it once again, this time it being a negative, to all 4 pieces. So let's see what happens there. So if you take a look, I rewrote it. I rewrote the top line exactly as is. The bottom, negative times negative is a positive 4x cubed. Negative times a positive is negative 6x squared. Negative times a positive is a negative 9x. Negative times a negative is a positive 3. And now once again, we add or subtract based on our rules for integers, as long as everything's also lined up. You add or subtract like terms. 3 plus 4 is 7, x cubed. 4 minus 6 is negative 2, x squared. 7 minus 9 is negative 2, x. 12 plus 3 is 15. That's my answer. So 7x cubed minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 15. All right. So now same thing applies for the next line. Once again, take that minus sign. We distribute it to all three in order to drop the parentheses. So take a minute and do that first. So once again, I rewrite the first part. 3y squared minus 4y plus 7. And we get negative 6y squared plus 6y plus 13. And we're going to combine like terms again, horizontally. 3y squared minus 6y squared is negative 3y squared. Negative 4y plus 6y is plus 2y. Seven plus 13 is plus 20. And then that's my answer. Negative 3y squared plus 2y plus 20. Now for the next part, we're going to take a look at multiplication. So that was adding or subtracting, which I think is fairly simple. The next part we're going to take a look at is finding the product. You've done problems like this before. Product obviously means multiply. Now be careful. When we multiply, you see this is 2 by 3. We take the first number, which is 2x, and we're going to distribute it to all three pieces. Watch our multiplication rules, what we do with exponents. I think I'm going to try and type this one out. So 2x times 3x squared is a 6x cubed. Do not forget, watch, x times an x squared is x cubed. We add the exponents, right? So just be mindful of your problem here. 2x times 3x is plus 6x squared. 2x times 5 is plus 10x. Now, that's the first half of it. The second half is we're going to take the 3 and multiply the 3 by all three pieces here. Continue on with it. All right. So 3 times 3x squared is positive 9x squared. 3 times 3x is plus 9x. 3 times 5 is plus 15. So this is by distributing the 2x to all three and now the 3. Now once again we will combine like terms. So let's see what we get. I'm not going to cross them out this time. If you want to, you can. 6x cubed is the only one there, so we rewrite it. Then we do 6x squared plus 9x squared, which is plus 15x squared. Don't forget your rules. When you multiply, you have to add the exponents. But when you add or subtract, you just combine the number in front and attach the variable to it with the exponents. 10x plus 9x is plus 19x. Then we're left with the 15. So that's my answer here. Take a minute and pause the video. I want you guys to try letter B yourself. Same idea as A. We'll distribute the x to everything and then the negative 5. And then I will show you the work for it. So check your work here. We're taking the x and distributing it to all three parts. And then don't forget, with our exponent rules when we multiply, and don't forget this one, and the second part is negative 5. Get this? Then combine like terms. So our final answer is x cubed minus 7x squared plus 13x minus 15. We're going to continue looking at multiplication, but now we're going to find the product of these three. For a, what we want to do first is actually multiply. It doesn't matter because technically multiplication is commutative, which it doesn't matter which pieces go first. Let's take the time to multiply these two out first. And don't forget you're actually going to have to FOIL. So remember, FOIL first, outer, inner, last, because it's a 2 by 2. So my first, and I'll keep parentheses here, x times x is x squared. Outer minus 1x, inner minus 1x. And last of FOIL is 1. Let me rewrite the second one. Now what I normally like to do is you could keep it like this, but I usually like to put the smaller one in front. And actually it doesn't matter with multiplication which way you set it up, because I think it's just easier to do the smaller one in front. Before we actually multiply, let's rewrite that. I want to combine the OI of FOIL. So we get this. And now what we have to do is take the x, multiply by all three, take the 2, multiply by all three, and do what we did in like the last one, combine like terms. You might want to pause the video and try it yourself first to see what you get. And just to refresh your memory, what I did was I took the x and I multiplied by all three parts, just like the last two examples. And I know I'm running out of room here, I'll give myself all space. But then we take the positive 2 and multiply it by all three. Now the last part is combining like terms, where we add or subtract like terms. So I get x cubed, there's no other x cubed. You'll see actually that the x squareds, negative 2 plus 2 is 0, they cancel out. So this is my actual answer for this one. Oh, 1 second. Line's a little crooked there. Or very crooked, I should say. I want to block the answer. So it's x cubed minus 3x plus 2. Once again, the x squareds go away because one's a negative, one's a positive. All right, I want you to try letter B. B is FOIL, if you guys remember. First, outer, inner, last. So why don't you pause the video and try that one. When I FOIL, this is what I get, and hopefully you had a second to try it. 5 first is FOIL. 5 times 5, or excuse me, I should say this again. 5y times 5y is 25y squared. Outer 5y times 3 is positive 15y. Not that it really matters. Maybe I should write these in the correct order for you guys so you don't get confused. I mean, it means the same thing, but 5y times 3, positive 15y. Negative 3 times 5y, negative 15y. Negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. That's FOIL. What you'll notice is these two cancel out, right? Because they're the same thing, opposite sign. So your final answer is 25y squared minus 9. And if you also pay attention, we've done special patterns with this. It's called the difference of two squares. The OI of FOIL drop out. But if you forgot it, remember when there's 2 by 2, you have to FOIL. Now the same thing applies here. That's squared. You cannot just say, hey, it's a square, I'm going to distribute the square to everything. That is incorrect. You actually have to write this twice like we've seen in the last chapter, and then we have to FOIL again. So why don't you try FOILing on your own? Pause the video and set it up, then we'll continue. When we FOIL, this is what we get first, and we get 16a squared plus 56a plus 49 as our final answer. Now this is a perfect square trinomial. This is what we did with complete the square when we were trying to find one that was quantity squared. Another special pattern one we looked at with quadratics last chapter. So B and C you've actually seen before. Now the next and last example is we're going to apply it to, give an application to a problem where we have to multiply. And 5 says write the area of the figure as a polynomial in standard form. So let's take a look at how we set this one up. Okay, so once again for the last example, example 5, we want to write the area of the figure as a polynomial in standard form. Well, you see that we're talking about what? Area. So area, we have to think about what is the formula for area? Area equals, now be careful because it's not a rectangle, it's 1/2 base times height. So let's set this up here. Area equals 1/2 times, the base is the bottom here, it's 5x plus 3. And then the height is 2x plus 6. Let me move this picture over a little bit here. So, what's our plan of action for solving? I probably would. I deal with the 1/2 in the end because I don't really want to deal with any like decimals or fractions from the beginning. And remember, you can multiply in whatever order you want. You multiply 2 at a time. So if you want to do the 1/2 times 5x plus 3, don't forget it's not like distributed to both. You only pick the 1/2 with one of them. I think it's personally easier just to take care of the 1/2 last. So we're going to multiply it out to write it as a polynomial in standard form. So keep the 1/2 in front. Now we have to FOIL. First, 5x times 2x is 10x squared. Outer, 5x times 6 is plus 30x. Inner, 3 times 2x is positive 6x. And the last, 3 times 18, or 3 times 6 is positive 18. There's your parenthesis. So let's simplify what we just did. Keep the 1/2 again. Combine the OI, get 10x squared. 30 plus 6 is plus 36x plus 18. Now as my last step, there's a little room here, is by multiplying this out and give one single parenthesis. Now I could actually take the 1/2 because it's a single term and distribute 1/2 to all three pieces. So let's see what we get here. 1/2 times 10 is 5x squared. 1/2 times 36 is plus 18x. 1/2 times 18 is positive 9. And then that's my final answer. This is the polynomial written in standard form. Standard form just means we multiply everything out. All right, that's it for today's lesson. For homework, these are the problems I want you to come do at home and come to class with. Problem of the day, we have adding or subtracting in vertical format. Adding or subtracting, where I say find the sum or difference. Find the product, and then write the area of the figure as a polynomial in standard form.